please get trusted opinions before you say something's finished. That could be your recordings, your songwriting, your marketing, your band photos. Before you put things out into the world, the time to get that feedback, seek some expert counsel, ask your trusted friends for their advice, do it early so that you have time to make any adjustments. And I don't always mean that you need to take their advice. You should simply seek some outside opinions because, again, we're so close to our music, our image, our face, our whatever, the copy we write in our bios. It really, really helps to get an outside person to be like, that's awkward. That's boring. Cut half that out. Whatever it is, you want to do that beforehand. And when you get the advice, I always think it will register as either true or false deep down in you. And if it confirms that little like suspicious part that maybe you'd been burying because you just want to finish the thing, then take the advice, slow down and fix whatever it is you're working on. If you get the advice and you say, nah, screw that, I'm doing this anyways, well, then good. You at least did this process and you can move and put something out with confidence that you at least sort of did a gut check.
I think the question for a lot of artists is how do I get useful feedback on my music? And I think, what you were just saying there, you want to get some input or feedback or, maybe a sounding board is a good way of putting it in that you're so close to it that you have these feelings. And if someone sort of resonates like or highlights something that you were kind of thinking was the case, it might be true. If other people are just like feel off base, maybe their opinion isn't worthwhile. But you also have to understand where the opinions are coming from. Like my mom will never tell me if a song is bad. So so that feedback is not useful. So I think it's important for artists to have good friends or people that will tell you the truth, but also understand that it's a creative process and that they can give you valuable feedback.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ways to get feedback. If it's songwriting, there are songwriting groups that exist. You could start one with 3 or 4 other writers and once a month get together and trade your newest songs. If it's recording, you may be working with an engineer or a producer, bandmates, whatever it is, that can give you feedback kind of in real time. But then even when you're done with maybe a rough mix, you just send it off to some other people who you trust. Same thing with designs. Like whenever an album, if I'm paying a designer to do an album cover or something, I don't always sit with my first reaction. Like I'll wait 2 or 3 days, maybe a week. And I think that's probably good to do with most things. Just sit on it, then come back to it.
Yeah. I usually take the screw it. I don't care what you think approach.
I've
Your
invested
your
too much
your
time in
level
this.
of your level of genius is clearly not matched with mine.
Well, that kind of delusion is good for progress, Kevin. Your
Yes.
your output is
I
served
think,
by that.
but artists, we are tend to be the type that oftentimes we deal with imposter syndrome, or we feel very vulnerable with this thing we just created, and so someone can be. Sometimes we're scared to get feedback because it can hurt, and maybe feel like it's more targeted at who we are as a person as opposed to just the track that person heard. And sometimes everyone is wrong because sometimes people don't know what they like until they've had a few times to listen to it. You're talking about not chasing trends, but new trends emerge from somewhere, and someone has to be someone to kind of forge a path into new areas.
I mean, if someone asked me what I thought of Who Let the Dogs Out before it came out, I would have said, like, what dogs? I don't care who let them out. This is annoying. And clearly I would have been wrong. So
If I have to hear another second of this song, I'm going to scream. And then you heard it a million times everywhere you went for like 3 years straight.